Hello and welcome to the third video in our series about vision and learning. The condition that we're going to talk about today is one called lazy eye or amblyopia. First thing that I'm going to do is clarify exactly what's meant by lazy eye, because there's actually three different conditions that can be called that, so there can be a little bit of confusion. The first condition that's called lazy eye is in fact amblyopia. What amblyopia is it where there's an obstruction, some form of obstacle, when the eyes are developing, which means that the brain favors one eye over the other, favors the eye that doesn't have the obstacle. And because of that, even with the best possible glasses, the vision isn't as good as it is in the other eye. Now, there are different obstacles that can cause amblyopia or lazy eye. One of them is a big prescription difference between the two eyes. In that case, the brain favors using the eye with the lower prescription because it's more in focus and never learns to use the other eye properly. The other obstruction that can happen is called strabismus, which means an eye turn. So if the eyes are not lined up and one eye is turning out or in, the brain is actually forced to use only one eye at a time, because otherwise the person would be constantly seeing double. So, one of the other obstructions is an eye turn. The third, another category of possible obstructions are things that are more physical, for example, an eyelid that's drooping and covering the vision, or a cataract that's present very young, those kind of things. So this kind of segues into the second thing that's called lazy eye. A lot of people think that what's called strabismus a lazy eye. So when they call one eye that turns a lazy eye, either an eye that turns in or more commonly an eye that turns out. So while that can be one of the obstructions that causes amblyopia, it's a different condition, and the good news for kids with an eye turn is that not all eye turns cause amblyopia. And a little bit more about the last condition that people call lazy eye. Some people call lazy eye an eye that has an eyelid that droops a lot more than the other side. So while, like I mentioned before, one of the obstructions causing vision problems can be an eyelid that droops, and that can cause lazy eye, the good news is a mild eyelid droop doesn't cause that on its own. It has to be significant enough to block the vision. And again, it's not always a cause of lazy eye on its own, but definitely needs to be ruled out. So the next thing I'd like to talk about is, why am I putting a video about lazy eye in a vision and learning series in the first place? Because these children with both eyes open actually do see 20/20, do see fairly well. The reason is there's recent research that compares the reading speed and efficiency of children with amblyopia, which is a word for lazy eye, and kids without. And the kids who had amblyopia read significantly slower and had less accurate eye movements than the children without. So that means it's something that's worth treating and worth addressing, even though this kid has 20/20 with both eyes open. What's good news is that it is a very treatable condition. It used to be thought that it could only be treated below kind of school age, but now there's more recent studies with doing different vision therapy exercises that show that lazy eye can be treated at any age, including older children and including adults. And again, in terms of improving academics and improving reading performance, it's something that's definitely worth it. However, it can also be something that can be easily missed, because lazy eye doesn't always have an obvious sign like a drooping eyelid or an eye that turns in or out, which is why all children should be screened for it, which means having a thorough eye exam by an optometrist, and also, in the case of kids who have amblyopia, treatment, which may include some combination of glasses and vision therapy. So thank you very much for listening. I hope you enjoyed the video, and please subscribe or like if you enjoyed the video, and stay tuned for the rest of our series. Thank you.